Hello, New York Giants fans, and welcome to a new edition of the Valentine's Views podcast here on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Your New York Giants face the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night, and this is a game that can change the trajectory of the Giants season. 0-2 start, things threatening to get really, really ugly with the possibility that the Giants could have been 0-3 entering this game at MetLife Stadium uh, after hearing so many boos, after hearing boos 3 plays into the season opener at MetLife against the Minnesota Vikings. I really didn't want to know what it was going to be like if the Giants were 0-3 on Thursday at MetLife Stadium. Now, though, things look and feel a little bit different. The Dallas Cowboys come in also 1-2, and the mighty Cowboys come in reeling a little bit. 2 straight losses at home, playing really bad defense the first 3 games of the season, not able to run the ball. Uh, some injuries bothering the Cowboys, losing Deron Bland for the season. They'll be missing another starting cornerback, Kalen Carson, on Thursday night. Offensive line not performing the way that the Dallas offensive line has in the past. The Cowboys feel vulnerable. The Giants 1-2, and let's not make too much out of one victory over the Cleveland Browns, a team with a struggling quarterback, a team with a myriad of offensive line injuries, but also a team with a really good defense. But anyway, not a, overall, the Browns don't look like a good football team right now. Let's not make too much out of that victory, but the Giants do come into Thursday night now rather than with a sense of foreboding, with a sense of doom, with a sense of oh, our season is already, in the dumpster. They come in with a sense of hope, with a sense of, hey, we can get to 2-2 in the space of 4 days here. Go from Sunday and then play again on Thursday, and get from 0-2 to 2-2, become relevant, get our season going on the upswing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens Thursday night. Hopefully the Giants play well. Let's be real here. Dallas has owned the Giants for the last 7 years. Uh, 6 straight Dallas victories, 13 out of 14. On paper, the Cowboys still probably have a better roster than the Giants, and maybe I should remove the probably from that. There's the Cowboys were looked at as a team that would be competing for the playoffs, that might be capable of a deep playoff run entering the season. The Giants, of course, were looked at as a team with an over under of 6.5 wins. A lot of people thought they'd be under that, but really, this game on Thursday night feels like an opportunity for the New York Giants. It feels like a chance for the Giants to maybe put a dent in that invincibility shield that the Cowboys have had in games that they've played against the Giants in recent years. And we'll see if the Giants at home on a primetime game, national audience, will see if the Giants can finally get over the hump and get a victory against the Dallas Cowboys. I look at several keys to this game. One of the big keys for me is dealing with Dak Prescott, putting pressure on Zach Prescott. You look at the history of games between these two teams. The Giants haven't sacked a Dallas quarterback in the last 4 games that they've played against the Cowboys. 3 games with Prescott at the helm, 1 game with Cooper Rush at the helm. They haven't sacked a Dallas quarterback since December of 2021. And let's be real here. The Cowboys to this point in the season have been a one-dimensional offense. They have not run the ball well. They downgraded from Tony Pollard to Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. They don't block as dominantly as they once did. They are dependent on Zach Prescott. They are dependent on CeeDee Lamb. They are dependent on moving the ball through the air. The Giants have issues at cornerback. They have issues. They've had issues, since the beginning. We knew going into the season that cornerback would be an issue for the Giants, that there were question marks there. Those are exacerbated on Thursday night by the fact that starting slot cornerback Drew Phillips and outside cornerback Adoree Jackson, the veteran who has been a part-time player thus far, but would have played a big role with Phillips out, or Adoree Jackson is also out on Thursday. Both have calf injuries. The way that it looks, Tay Banks will, of course, man one cornerback, and he's had his struggles trying to defend number one wide receivers so far this year. But the other two cornerbacks are going to be Cordale Flott and Nick McLeod. McLeod coming back from an injury of his own, having missed the last two games with a knee injury. Not sure how the Giants are going to align, to be honest with you. Both McLeod and Flott have slot / outside versatility. Not sure how the Giants are going to do this, whether Flott will move into the slot on a consistent basis, or whether they'll use McLeod in there. But those will be your three, backed up by Isaiah Simmons as a potential slot corner, Trey Hawkins perhaps, Art Green, who's on the practice squad, could be a candidate to be elevated. Green played 11 snaps last week. Duke Shelley is also an experienced slot cornerback who's on the practice squad, could be an activation candidate. But you look at those corners, you look at the struggles of Banks so far to match up with number one wide receivers. And the opportunity for the Giants is in the pass rush. They have got to put pressure on Prescott. They have got to make him move off his spot. They've got to get some sacks. They've gotten sacks from 9 different players so far this year. Now, I don't think the Giants are going to be able to get away with what they got away with last week against the Browns, blitzing Deshaun Watson 57% of the time. I think Prescott, given time to get the ball out of his hands, will carve the Giants up if they try to do that. But the Giants are going to have to get some pressure. Dexter Lawrence is going to have a big game. Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, defensive coordinator Shane Bowen is going to have to pick his spots to bring some pressure, to bring some rushers from unexpected places. Jason Pinnock, Giants safety, leads the team with 3 sacks at this point. So we'll have to see how they involve Pinnock, how they involve the linebackers, how they involve the corners in the pass rush. But the Giants have got to disrupt Dak Prescott, because if they do not, this group of cornerbacks, this secondary is going to get picked apart by Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and the rest of the Dallas receiving core. Another key for the Giants, they have to run the football. They have to stop the run. Now, that, of course, is a key in any particular NFL game, and it's sort of coach speak. You hear it all the time: run the football, stop the run. But when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they have not done either of those things so far this year. They are last in the league in yards per attempt on defense in terms of rushing defense. They are 30th in the league in terms of their average yards per rush when they have the ball. The Giants can't allow them to get the running game going. They just can't, because then they won't be able to pin their ears back and go after Prescott. They won't be able to make the Cowboys one dimensional. And they have to run the football to control the clock, control the game, keep Prescott off the field, keep their offense out of those dangerous, third and long situations, keep the entire playbook open. They've done a pretty good job of that the last couple of weeks. And, using a varied running game, using Devin Singletary, using Tyrone Tracy, using extra blockers, using Daniel Jones in a lot of designed runs. Last week, incorporating Malik Neighbors into the running attack. Wouldn't be surprised to see some of Wan'Dale Robinson incorporated into the running attack as well. Using a variety of screen passes as sort of substitutes for the run, ways to keep the pass rush at bay. Brian Daboll's done a really good job with that. And it's been really fun to actually see the Giants, a team that has struggled to properly execute screen passes going all the way back to Eli Manning's time as quarterback. It's actually been fun to watch them successfully run screen passes and get big chunks of yardage out of them. So hopefully they can do that again on Thursday night as well. And obviously, another key for the Giants is for Daniel Jones to continue to play good football. The reality of it is, we know that Jones is not a top 5 in the NFL quarterback, but for the Giants to succeed, he has to be what he's been the last couple of weeks. He has to be a league average to somewhat above league average quarterback. He has to take care of the football. He has to get the ball to Malik Neighbors. He has to complete the throws that are available. He's got to make plays with his legs. He's got to keep the ball away from the defense. He's got to limit the mistakes, not turn the football over. He's done those things for the last 2 weeks, and the Giants offense has played well, largely as a result of that. Say what you want, whether about Jones being dynamic, and yes, he's missed a couple of deep throws, hasn't made a lot of what Pro Football Focus would term big time throws, but the Giants, the way that they're playing, have been finding success moving the football. Daniel Jones has to continue to make the kinds of plays that he's made the last couple of weeks. And yes, it would help if he hit one of the deep shots that he's taken. I think he's 2 for 9 this year, 22.2% on throws longer than 20 yards down the field. Giants have gotten a lot of catch and run from Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson on underneath stuff, on intermediate stuff, but hitting some of those over the top shots will not only move the chains, change field position, but it will also keep the defense honest, keep the defense loosened up for some of those mid-range type shots. And the Giants need to see Jones hit some of those. But the bottom line is, the way that Jones has played the last 2 weeks, if he continues to play like that, he gives the Giants an opportunity to play good offense on a week-to-week basis. Maybe not to be a great high-flying offense, but he gives them an opportunity to play competitive offense on a week-to-week basis. All right, let's go ahead and finish up here by making a prediction. The Giants, the Big Blue View staff, let me put it this way. The Big Blue View staff, through 3 weeks, there are 6 of us picking games. We are 0-18. We are embarrassingly 0-18. Every staff member picked the Giants to beat the Vikings. Wrong. Every staff member picked the Giants to beat the Commanders. Wrong. Every staff member, downtrodden, you know, beaten, um, sort of upbraided by being optimistic. Every staff member picked the Giants to lose to the Cleveland Browns. Wrong, wrong, wrong. This week, we will at Big Blue View at least have a couple of people get it right. This week in our picks, there is a mix of contributors picking the Giants to win or the Cowboys to win. My pick is the New York Giants. And they might make me look stupid on Thursday night. But look, this, as I said at the top of the show, this is an opportunity game for the Giants. It's a change the trajectory of the season game for the Giants. It's a be relevant game, at least for the foreseeable future, um, for the Giants type of game. It's a game where they can get this monkey of not being able to beat the Cowboys forever and ever, it seems like. Get that monkey off their backs, and for a change, watch the Cowboys squirm as their fan base is it is irate and is calling for people to be fired, calling for jobs, calling for change, while the Giants could get to 2-2 and look like a team that can be competitive in an NFC East that's not great. NFC East where the Eagles have scratched their way to a couple of wins. The Commanders might look better than anticipated. And right now, as we've said, the Cowboys are reeling a little bit. So I am going to drink the Kool-Aid this week and think that this has to turn eventually. The Giants have got to turn this around at some point. And this to me, it just feels like a golden opportunity because of the Cowboys reeling, because of the Giants coming off of a game where they played well, because of the Giants being at home. And I just feel like if the Giants are ever going to turn this around with this current iteration of the team, then this will be the week that they do it. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Giants. I'm not going to give you a score. I think it could be a game in the 20s, but I'm going to pick the Giants to win. I'm going to do that with my eyes wide open to the fact that the Giants have lost a lot of games to the Cowboys over the years that it looked like and felt like they should have won. And that the Cowboys, per SB Nation partner FanDuel Sportsbook, Cowboys are I believe, a 5.5 point favorite the last time I looked at the line. But it will be an upset. It will be at least considered an upset if the Giants win. But I'm going to go ahead and pick the Giants, and we'll see if I can finally get one right this year. All right, Giants fans, please check out all of our coverage at bigblueview.com. Look for our Giants Cowboys story stream that has all of our coverage pre-game, in-game. It'll have our post-game coverage. Look for our picks at Big Blue View that'll post on Thursday morning. Look for my expanded look at the keys to victory, at the things that the Giants need to do to come away with a victory over the Cowboys on Thursday night. Look for that on Thursday morning at Big Blue View as well. All right, Giants fans, thank you as always for your support. Please stay safe out there. Take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.